So today we are looking at Bloktopia, or the block token. We had a community poll put out, I guess it was Friday, maybe Saturday, asking which cryptocurrency we should do a deep dive on next, and Bloktopia won. So as you can see, your boys put in some research. I don't know how many tabs are up here. It's like 20 tabs or something. Come on now. So what we're going to go ahead and do is do a deep dive into the project. And at the end, I'm going to wrap it all up and saying if it's something I like or not. TLDR, I like it. I like it. I'm not always a negative Nancy. Okay. I don't always think things are scams. I think Bloktopia is pretty darn cool. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's jump in here. Again, this is going to be a deep dive into the project. There's going to be a lot of content. So it's not going to be a kind of a quick hit. There's going to be a lot of stuff for you to absorb. Secondarily, this is not financial advice. I'm just some random dude on the internet, and you shouldn't just trust me right off the bat, okay? If you're going to spend your hard-earned money on anything, you should probably get 2-3 different sources of information on it. Ideally, that conflict with each other, and then you can try and hopefully figure out the truth is somewhere in between, okay? So, high level, Bloktopia. It's a 21-level building built into the metaverse. It's going to be a crypto information hub where users, investors, gamers, influencers, creators, protocols can all get together and just build a community and communicate with each other. They're going to have games across this. They're going to create some brand engagement for individual protocols that want to buy and lease out real estate and space in Bloktopia. They have an NFT ecosystem backing this thing. We're able to buy that real estate yourself and actually earn some money off of it. And of course, they actually also just had launched a initial games offering launchpad, which we'll get into later in the video. But this project was such an initial success that sounds like a lot of smaller projects reached out to them and asked for their help in getting launched and marketed to their community. And they've added that as something that they're doing as well. So let's go ahead. Let's take a look here at our first tab. So one of the big check marks for me when I'm going through these things, because there's so many scams, there are like so many scams, is I have to have a doxed founder group. I'm not going to put my money into something where the founder is too scared to show their face and name and real identity. So Bloktopia, check the box there. They actually have people here, and they're all real legitimate people that are building this game. So I went through and I looked up every single one of these folks. These two gentlemen here are the co-founders, so Ross and Patty. Sounds like they went to university together, as they mentioned in this video. I'll link this in the description down below too if you want to watch this yourself. And they, in essence, came up with the idea of creating this metaverse. So one thing I will say, and it is a small drawback, is that neither of these two gentlemen have cryptocurrency or blockchain gaming experience. So this gentleman on the left, I believe that's Ross. He's been in crypto since 2015 as a personal investor. Hoping he's probably done pretty well if he's been in it for that long. And then this gentleman on the right, he's more of the marketing, business development partnership side of the house. Okay, so not a total deal breaker, And as we'll review later in this video, they still sourced several millions of dollars worth of venture capital funding into this protocol. So some real venture capitalists trust them, and that is also a very good sign. So let's see what else we have here. We pulled up their social media, pulled up their Reddit, 3.8 thousand members, a total of 9 of them online. There are some questions in here about folks confused about staking and unstaking. We'll dive into that later in the video. We hopped on their Twitter page, massive Twitter following. I don't know if they're bots or not, but right off the bat, I'm impressed by that. And then more importantly, and most importantly, I actually opened up their Medium archive and I read every single Medium post that they have, and they are very active. Not only are they very active, very detail-oriented, and it sounds like they're following through on just about everything that they're committing to, which is another major plus for me when looking at a project, okay? So we've also pulled up Lunar Crush here, and I use this tool just to kind of look at the social sentiment, and this one seems to be meandering, to say the the least. But I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that their game, as well as their NFT real estate ecosystem and the initial game offerings that they've put together, none of that is launched yet. So it's still kind of early stage. Now, if we look forward here, some of their market competitors, their target market cap, they listed Decentraland, Mana, Sandbox. So we're just going to do a quick comparison here. So if Bloktopia, $308 million market cap based on the current available supply of the token. And if we compare that to Decentraland, which is tens, thousands, millions, billions, $5 billion plus, as well as a Sandbox, which is around $4 billion, it shows, and this is mentioned in their white paper, it shows who their target is, right? That demographic that they're chasing, both the user base as well as the partners across those ecosystems. Now, let me see what we got here. Oh, got a comment. What's up? Next time, if you can, have a look after Kalmar. I got you, man. Hold on. Let me make a note. Kalmar. Sweet. I have it noted down. Okay. So, sorry, I'm reading my notes here. All right. So owning a part of Bloktopia. So in essence, what they're pitching here is a 21-story building. It's like a shopping mall of crypto, where again, new investors, people who are completely brand new to crypto, savvy individuals who have been in it for a while, influencers, brands, protocols will all mingle together, right? And be able to create little stores and shops to show off their wares, their games, their protocols, all that good stuff. Now, what you could do is you could actually go ahead and you could buy the Bloktopia token and then use that to purchase some of the real estate in the form of an NFT. And I think I do have the floor plans pulled up. Now, this is not launched yet, so we're like early on this bad boy. So these are a few of the floor plans, and you can click on these and you can look at the individual, little segments that you want to go ahead and purchase, little blocks. Most of them seem fairly well priced for, the metaverse type game. Now, of course, there is a ton of risk, right? If this thing's actually going to launch or not, but so far I'm happy. Hold on, comments right here. What we got? Thank you so much. Appreciate it. No, man, I appreciate you. Appreciate you for watching. Thank you for your time. No, thank you for your time. You could be watching a ton of different YouTubers and you decide to spend some time with me. So I appreciate you. So what else do we got here? Job. So as they went ahead and they released those real estate parcels, they quickly found out that the common Joe, you and me, really couldn't afford them. So they created these jointly owned block enterprises, or Jobs, to go ahead and, in essence, fractionalize that. So where you could still go ahead and you can earn or buy a piece of the marketplace, even if you don't have, 10 million block tokens. Quick pause for hydration. All right, so that's cool. So that's neat to hear, right? So right off the bat, it doesn't seem like it's a protocol built just for the wealthy that can go ahead and buy a bunch of tokens and rule everything. Sounds like they're making some constructive changes to allow us small folks to have a shot. Appreciate that. Now they went ahead and also opened up staking pools through their staking launchpad. And I believe I actually have that link pulled up. Yep. So all these are closed at this point. But as you can see, the maturity date, the APYs that they had available. Now, one thing that's interesting here, from a growth standpoint, right? So what stage is it now and where can it go? From a growth standpoint, in this interview, which is October 1st, 2021, long time ago, they said that Q1 2022 is when they were going to be planning on launching the game in full. Maybe not in full, but launching the game. So if the token is currently not being utilized for any real economic purpose, and they were to launch something that allows it to be utilized for something, I'm leaning to believe that the price of the token would go up because the actual protocol is live and people are using it. Now, again, not financial advice. I'm just some dude on the internet, but sounds like we're early. And so far, they're checking a lot of good boxes for me. Okay. So let's see. What else do we have pulled up here? Partners, backing and partners. Okay. So this is another big sign. This is another thing I love to see, right? So they're partnered with Polygon, which, if you didn't know, I think back in Q2 or Q3 of 2021, created a whole gaming division because they saw the burgeoning metaverse and NFT blockchain gaming as an opportunity. They also have Animica. I think I nailed that. Animica Brands as a venture capital partner. And if we scroll through, they also have AU21, which I've covered extensively in some of my other videos. They're a venture capital fund, I believe, based out of Asia. And you see some other big brands on here too, like BitBoy Crypto. Okay. So right off the bat, I am pleased because all these people have money and time and resources. Bloktopia was presented to them. They evaluated it and they said, you know what? We can make some money off of this. Yes, let's partner. We can lend you some money so you can build up your protocol because we're expecting that we're going to make more money back than what we're putting in. So I dig that. All right. And then, in fact, I pulled up this article from AU21 Capital, and they're explaining why they invested in Bloktopia. In essence, and we've covered this before, there's two big issues with blockchain gaming, okay, in order for it to take off. Number one is that the vast majority of users don't know jack about crypto. They don't know jack about wallets, managing tokens, staking, any of that stuff. And I think the vision and the uniqueness that comes in Bloktopia is, since it's a metaverse built specifically around education and learning and community, I think it has the potential to go ahead and solve some of that, which is pretty darn cool. And the other piece of that is just compliance. The other big hurdle for gaming is just compliance, making sure they're staying on the right side of compliance, especially in the United States, where it can be pretty tricky to do so. So we mentioned that they raised a bunch of money. Again, that's $4.2 million. And typically when these venture firms go ahead and invest in the project, they're not guaranteed to make money off of these things. I think it's like 50% of these end up being worth less than what they put in, but the rest of them are 2 to 3 times, 5 times, and then they have like a nice little miracle in something 50x's or 25x's, and it helps them keep everything floating and going and happy. So I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that. See if we got any more comments here. No more comments. Hey, what's up, everybody? Thanks for watching. If you didn't know, so this video will be out on the YouTube channel later if you want to go through this at your own speed and look through it. So when someone tells you to invest in cryptocurrency, I'm 50 moves ahead of you. That's a little arrogant. We may not be 50 moves ahead, but that's kind of what I feel like when I do this type of deep analysis on these projects. All right. Let's see here. What else did we have? Oh, real quick, just to reiterate, so from a project stage standpoint, so we see that they have $4.2 million as well as other money and partnerships that have come in. They have not yet launched the metaverse game. They have not yet launched their NFT marketplace, and they have not yet launched their initial game offerings. And they have 2 games that have launched off their launchpad or will launch off their launchpad. So I think overall, we're pretty darn early. So they had this article come out on Medium talking about transparency regarding their tokenomics. And I'll leave this in the description of the video. They go deep into, where the tokens are being allocated, the individual wallets themselves that you can pull up and look at. And again, I love this. I don't know if this was a requirement from one of their VC partners, but to just have this level of transparency, especially this early in the game, I think is super, super cool. Let's see here. Yes. Okay. So we did have this message from Patty Carroll, who's one of the co-founders of Bloktopia. And in essence, he went ahead and mentioned that they're going to have a unlock of some of the block tokens. Now, I think the reasoning behind that is it was kind of tied to the overall economic model of Bloktopia, having enough tokens in circulation for folks to be able to use them effectively to buy the real estate. So they went ahead and they had a token unlock. Real quick here, check for comments. It's going to take a lot to get the younger generation into crypto gaming. It is. It is. Yeah, I think if they had an IP like Pokemon, Minecraft, Roblox, something like that, that just dabbled, just put their foot in it, then it would be really, really interesting. But I think we're at least a couple years away from something like that. Also, good to see you, Old Bear. What's up, man? Okay, so we have the holders pulled up. Now, if you've seen my other videos, typical comment here is I never want to see the vast majority of tokens held by a single wallet. There is some diversification here with large percentages that are held. If you go back to this link, not that one. If you go back to this link here, they go ahead and they list all the staking wallets, the treasury wallets, as well as the exchange wallets. So I have no concerns looking through this thing. Again, not financial advice. I'm not a professional, but it passes snuff with me. Of course, I like to look at the comments to see if there's anything gnarly happening. Some folks are mentioning that they're concerned about those tokens and how much they're held. Other folks are mentioning some issues unstaking the token, which we'll get into later in the video here. Now, if we look at Bloktopia Markets, so I think the biggest one on here that jumps out to me is KuCoin. I'm actually an affiliate of KuCoin, small affiliate, like tiny affiliate, but an affiliate nonetheless. And I respect their exchange. I think that they try not to list garbage. You know, I think that they try not to take advantage of people. So that's cool to see. A couple that are missing, Binance. With some of the partnerships that we're going to talk about later, I could see that as a potential development, especially if Bloktopia can actually get some of these milestones launched and live and people using it and create some buzz around that. I think there's some potential. So hopping over into their Twitter account, we went ahead and we saw that they have 2 different games that are launching on their initial game offering launch pad. So how that works is if you own block tokens, you can stake them. And by staking them, you'll earn some of these games' native tokens as a reward. Okay. So one of them is Sin City, which I think I have pulled up here. Sin City. And then the other one was Citus Heroes with this super creepy guy staring at us. Another thing I thought was super cool is, so here's a video preview of what their metaverse looks like. And Engine is a big brand. Like, Engine is a legitimate brand. I think that guy, Patty, where you at, Patty? I think Patty, his networking in terms of the marketing efforts are paying off by being able to get those type of folks involved. That's pretty darn neat. So, let's see here. What's this? Oh, this was just the launch pad of their initial token. That's already been covered. Okay, so they have had some changes to how they're going to go ahead and allocate rewards. So they introduced a tier system, which in essence creates 2 type of launch pools within Block. I know this is getting complicated because I'm confused. And if I'm confused, I'm sure you're confused too. So they have 2 different pools within their launch pad. Okay. Tier 1 is going to be if you stake your block tokens, and these are like premier MVP level projects within the block group. Okay. And so the reward there will be those native tokens. Now the other tier is going to be more if there's any project that wants to launch, but maybe isn't as high scale as those tier 1 partners. And for those, in order to facilitate those, they're actually going to use Block Pad, which is a new token that isn't out yet. Okay. I believe it's the BPAD token. So one other thing to add in that too. So for Bloktopia, Block Tier 1 that you go ahead and you sponsor and you stake your tokens with, they did also add a 1% fee when you go to unstake. So I think the vision there is to go ahead and take in a little bit of the profits to help their back-end ecosystem and company grow. So just so you're aware of that. So I know we're getting into the weeds here, but I think this stuff's important to know. And then here's that BlockPad token. As I said, it is not launched yet. If I recall correctly, reading through, I believe that if you are a Bloktopia holder, maybe it's if you're staking, but they're going to do an airdrop for BlockPad tokens. If somebody knows and confirm down in the comments, I'd appreciate that. Now, hydration break. This is a lot. Again, I mean, I don't mean to toot my own horn, but who else pulls up this many tabs on a project like this? Nobody. Now, I know I'm just some idiot on the internet, but, you know, come on. So, back in 2021, I think this was December. Yeah, December 7th, CoinMarketCap listed the best performing IDOs of 2021, and Bloktopia was number 1. So that tells you something. That's pretty damn cool. In addition to that, going through their Medium, they also listed how there was a whole bunch of scammy cryptocurrencies that pretty much stole their white papers, stole their assets, and acted as if they were Bloktopia or a copycat of them to go ahead and lure folks to invest in it, and then they took their money. So make sure you're going to, and I'll leave this link down there in the comment section, but Bloktopia.com is where you want to go. Now, they did also mention in their Medium article that they're creating a nonprofit agency charity. I think this is kind of, it's not scammy, but, you know, on one hand, they're probably going to take some real funds and probably use it to do some good. I think that's likely. But more often than not, I bet that this is more of an opportunity for them to make some contributions, make some donations to lower their tax requirements, how much they have to pay in taxes. But it's a win-win, so whatever. I just don't get too excited about these because I know what that back-end process looks like. So what else we got here? Did I pull that up already? Oh, okay. So the other thing I want to talk about is partnerships. So Patty over here, I know we mentioned him a couple times, but one of the partners that he mentioned is Anzu.io. And what this company does is they specialize in in-game advertisements, which is pretty cool and seems really important to a metaverse game based on partnerships that, you know, own real estate space within the game. The one thing I think stands out to me here is that Anzu is likely connected pretty deeply into cryptocurrency, which is why when you see like some of these partnerships like Engine, I bet this partnership through Anzu is what triggered that. What else we got here? I think we covered most of these brands. Again, I was impressed to see Polygon show up. This is a comment. So BitBoy Crypto, Crypto Windy, and Anti-FUD, which I believe is Jake Paul's VC firm, or VC fund. Of course, Jake Paul has a VC fund. You know, there's something to be said for these guys. Okay. Are they going to likely shill the heck out of these projects? Yes. But could you ride the roller coaster along with their shilling and maybe take some profits? Likely. I think it's likely. So that's cool to see. Hopefully one day our channel will be big enough where we can do some of these partnerships and do it on the up and up. That'd be a nice goal. So again, we talked about some of this, but they secured some funding from Polygon. This is the Animica Brands, where again, they list Bloktopia as one of the projects that they are putting money into and supporting. And in fact, I did look them up on Crunchbase, and they're a real investment firm, and they manage a real amount of money. So that's cool. Unlike that last project that we reviewed, where not so much. The VC firms seem to be fake. All right. Roadmap. So I'm a little frustrated about this because it sounded like, reading through all their Medium stuff, all their social media stuff, what they're doing, that they have a ton of momentum, like a lot of momentum, and they're putting in real work. But their damn roadmap isn't updated. The damn roadmap isn't updated. And so the last part where it leaves us is Q3 2021. And we're a full quarter and a month past that. And so this isn't cool. Team, if you're out there, I know you're already working on a white paper. I know everybody in your Telegram and your Discord have probably been blowing you up about it, and on Twitter. I think you should just knock it out. Get it done. Even if it's not right, just get it updated. Give us some things that you're aiming for. Now, we're going to get a little big brained here. So, the last two projects I reviewed, I called scams. Avoid, do not invest. And this is still not financial advice. I'm just going to share with you my approach and how I'm going to play this. Venture capital has been piling into crypto tremendously in 2021. And it's likely it's only going to continue in 2022 as money is cheap and the market is blowing up in a good way. But the reality is that the vast majority of these investments aren't going to pay off. Okay. I think I mentioned this earlier, 50% return, less than 1x of the investment. So if I give you $1 million, 50% of those projects are going to get me less than my $1 million back. I lost money. And there's a couple that I'll go ahead and do better. And I think in crypto, this is probably more equity based. In crypto, it's probably all over the map, right? You have things that just go into the dirt, and you have things that 100x and like just chaos. So my personal strategy, I think it would make sense to have about 20 to 25 different projects that you go through this level of research on, and you take, an amount of money and you divide it up equally amongst them. And you're going to have some that crash and burn, and you're going to have some that rocket up and just make you the happiest person in the world. I think that this project, Bloktopia, not financial advice, I think it is worthwhile of one of those slots. And I don't have a ton of cash laying around, but I'm going to definitely look into putting some money into this and building out that 2025 token portfolio. And maybe that's something I could share on the channel if you guys are interested in how that performs. So there you go. Let's wrap it up. Pros. And I'm looking at my notes here, so apologize if I'm bouncing back and forth. Pros. Legitimate venture capital backing. Venture capital funds, before they give them millions and millions of dollars, do a ton of due diligence research. They support the protocols, not just with money, but also connections, as well as resources and guidance on how to manage different things that come up that can slow down their growth. It's very early stage, and that's another pro. So they haven't even launched anything yet. They just talked about launching things. Risk is very, very high, but I think being this early stage, I think it's a good place. In addition, the team seems accountable. If you go through the Medium page, they've made changes this way and then had to fork it and go another way and had to fork it and go another way. But to me, that's how it's supposed to work in software and really any product development. You make a minimal viable product, you get it out there, you get people engaging with it, they start to complain or they love it, and then you make tweaks and changes. And it seems like that's what this group is doing. And then finally, their Telegram, their social media presence. If you hop into there, there's a ton of folks complaining about staking, how they're confused on how to go ahead and unstake their tokens, and if it's a scam and that type of thing. Just to kind of put a pin in that, it doesn't seem like it's an issue. There are some folks who are confused on how to do it, and they're just kind of doing it incorrectly, or maybe the process is complex, but most folks are able to unstake without issue. So all those folks who are mad, once they get that sorted out and the protocol begins to launch and go well, I think they're just going to be out there shilling the heck out of this thing. I really do. Comment here. Old Bear. I have the hardest time cutting the losers. I know, man. Yeah, me too. I may or may not still own SafeMoon. I wish I didn't own SafeMoon. Cons. So they're new founders. Okay, so they're new founders, and although one has blockchain personal investing experience, the other one has marketing experience, neither of them have blockchain gaming experience. Now, it sounds like they took some of that money that they received from venture capital firms and they went out and they hired an ad hoc talent to help them with that, which is cool. But that's definitely a risk. Again, we got to look at compliance, because compliance across the globe is up and down everywhere, especially if you look at a place like the United States, where a vast majority of, I think, investable income into this metaverse game would really take place. Again, they have the outdated roadmap, but I tend to believe that their team's just overwhelmed, that they probably need to hire some people. They need to hire some folks to manage that stuff for them and really get that updated. And then finally, the other risk is if they can't continue to drive growth and interest, all of those partners, all of those VC firms, they'll just cut bait. They'll just cut them loose, let them squander, let them die, and walk away and go focus their money on trying to find the next thing. So there you have it. I like it. I'm not always negative. Come on. I'm not always screaming things are a scam. I think Bloktopia is super cool. If you guys don't mind, if you want to do me a favor, maybe we could share this video with the Bloktopia executive team on Twitter or something and get them on here for an interview. I think that'd be really neat. So yeah, I'm going to wrap it up. Any other questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and hit me in the comments section. We'll give it a couple seconds with the hand movements. All right. We're going to call it a wrap. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Ryan. No Autopilot YouTube channel. We do these deep dives. I'm going to try and do one every single day, except for Saturday and Sunday. If the content was valuable, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button for me, consider subscribing. Also, let me know in the comments down below if there's another project or protocol that you want me to do this type of deep dive on. Again, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye. I keep doing the hand thing. I need to turn off the stream before I do a hand thing. All right, we'll see you. Bye.